Share sponsor Lilu Shmat Nishmas Ayvak Shalom Labas Yitzchok. We're holding in Bava Daf Hainei, and we're going to be starting at Ayin with base in the two dots towards the end of the Omud. The Gemara brings Gufa Omar Avuna Omar Rav Moidi B'Knas Achakach Bo Eidim Potter. If someone is Moidi B'Knas, that's what we just quoted. It's Moidi B'Knas and then Eidim K. The din is that he is Potter if he was already Moidi B'Knas. Chiz asked Ravuna a question.
What's he chayav?
Karen, but not the knas. Okay? We'll see a little bit more about this today in the daf. What is chayav? Pashup shot, when we start the daf, you're saying a person is moide b'knas, he's potter. He's not going to be chayav the knas. You chayav anything which is not a knas. Whatever is a knas is not going to be chayav. Ezer Chiz do Ravuna. Chiz asked Ravuna. My Sebarim Leo, there was a story in Leo. Shesimo is ain't Tavi Avdoi. He blinded the eye of a slave Tavi. He was very happy. Not so Rabbi Shua. So Rabbi Shua, he found Rabbi Shua. Omerloi, Rabbi Leo wanted to share with Rabbi Shua the good news. He had the idea that Tavi of the Yotz of the Chirus. He said, oh, my slave is released. Omerloi Lama, why are you saying that? I blinded his eye. What are you saying is nothing. There's no Eidim. And if you have no Eidim, to release a heaven because you took out his eye is a knas. If I have no Eidim, moidi b'knas, potter. Says, well, I'm doing it from here. Ayesh lo Eidim. Chayav. You see from here that if Eidim would come, even though they're not here right now, if the Eidim would come later, there's no, because there, he wasn't moided in front of Beis Din. He was moided to himself. When is moided b'knas potter? He goes in front of Beis Din, he says, I'm moided, that's what I did. But to say to himself doesn't help. So what about Yeshua Beis Din Oya? Yeshua himself is a Beis Din. He's not Beis Din. So what daf I know Dalef Shaloi Beis Din Avakai. Yeah, the word saying a Beis Din. He just came and schmooze with Rabbi Yeshua outside of Beis Din. Says the Gemara, Vatanya, it says in the Brayso, Omer Lo Ein B'Dverecha Klum Shekvar Yedeiso. He told him, why Ein B'Dverecha Klum? Because you were mighty. My love, right? There's another Brayso that says that the reason why I'm like Klum, can you make it a little lower? A little lower. So he says, right? Omar to me, TV. Omar so he told him, Ein b'vercha klum, why b'vercha klum? Shekvar her deso. There's a different Brayso. The other Brayso says, the reason why we don't listen to him, because he was already moided. So a different gear. So the first gear says the reason and it doesn't work because what? Because you have no Eidim. The other one says you have no Eidim because you were moided. What's the difference between the two prices? My love tanoi, that's a machlekes. Hi taradom shekva in l'chaidim sova moided b'kras like bo Eidim chayav. The mandom that says as no Eidim. Meaning, if you would have Eidim, it would be chayav, even though the Eidim came after. So you're moed, it's over. So it doesn't matter if Eidim came before or after. Right? It doesn't matter if Eidim came after. Once he was moed on his own, it's over. That's not the mechlik. Everybody agrees whether it's Eidim or potter. Even if Eidim came after, it's potter. What's the mechlik? Hi, they says you have no Eidim. Eidim will come, will make a difference. It was the case was after our basin. In other words, if you're moed in basin, Eidim cannot change it. The question is, was he moed in basin or he wasn't moed in basin? So that's the B'chol story. Now, very interesting. We have your story. Now, Gamliel goes. And he sees he hits his Rebbe. He says, "Can you hear? Can you hear?" So Rebbe goes and he sees that he sees his Eved, Tabi, and he hits him, and he's Sameach because he went on the Cherus, right? Let me tell you. So Rabbi Leah says that what does Rabbi Leah say? He says that he was Sameach Simcha G'dol because his slave went on the Cherus. There's a few oris over here that I heard point out. Just let's mention a few of them. Number one is, first of all, why is Rabbi Leah so happy? Hamishachar Avdi Yotz L'Cherus. Hamishachar Avdi Rebbe'aseh. To release you're not allowed to release your slave. If Rabbi Leah wants to release a slave, he can release a slave anyway. So what is he so happy about? So Pasha means he made a mistake, right? He didn't hit him purposely. If it was by mistake, the Gemara brings in Kiddushin, it's a discussion if ever the Yoitz L'Cherus, when the other hits him by mistake, it has to be purposely. So the Yavetz here says you have to say that the Leah holds like the Mandoma holds that they by mistake. It's a little hard to have to say that over here. There's another question over here. The question is Shalom Eshiv brings this question. So Shalom Eshiv, when Leah thought he was released, right? So he's Messiah. He gave up on him. So if he gave up on him, what's the Messiah B'Avdoi? We're learning more in Gittin. Someone has Yush in his effort, they have to do it to the Cherus to give him get Shikhr, but they have to do it. Why is not Yotze? Because of the Yush. That's another question over here. And then there's other Oris on the Indian over here. But just to mention one thing of Piagato.
In other words, he didn't have to eat. He could just Mihayish.
Yeah, but no, he wasn't Stam Miyash of him. He was his slave. And we know, as the son bringing, they're going to in the end of the day, never released his slave Tabi, because we know he set Shiva on him, and his Talmidim asked him why he says Shiva on Evet. So he told him the Kosher, the Gemara in Brochus. So you know the Tabi was never released. So this whole thing tells me he wasn't released because of this story. So why not? One argue over here, Agata, you have the Yoda mentions. He says, what's the reason? It says Sheva'ayin over here. What's the reason he was hitting with and he took it his tooth? Because Tabi was a Gilgul of Cham, was the first slave. Noach said he's going to be a slave, his children will be slaves. So, and he was chayte with the fact that he looked on his father. So therefore, Leah took out the eye of Tabi to fix the chait of the original Cham. As I state that's what the Ben Yoda brings over here. So different Ha'oris that the Chayni have on the story with Gamliel and Tabi. So the Gemara. If Eidim came after the Moed V'Kras, it's a Chayal Potter. I'm Rabbi by a lawyer, my time, what's the reason of Rav? So as we saw earlier in the Masechto, if Eidim find it, so then the Eidim will mechayev him. Prat l'Mashiach Zatzloi, if he does it on his own, then you don't have that thing. Says if he does it on his own, so it means not you have Eidim that made him chayev, so then you're not chayev kras. Says the Gemara, Lamali Mashiach Shir Nafko. You have Asher Yeshir Nulukim. It has to be Dafka by Dayonim. That's the Chiddush. Chiddush is that even if the Eidim came after, it was already Moed. That's you have two psukim. One pasuk tells you that he can't do it on his own. Second pasuk is even if he did it on his own, came Eidim, it's still Potter. Well, we need Motzah Timotz for different reasons. The Gemara said earlier. You need Motzah Timotz to tell you that a Gan himself is Chayav Kefil. Because the Gemara had a Cheshbonis Leil. What do you use with the words in Motzah Timotz? Ketad v'chizka ostad v'chizka leil. Hey, Siri Rav Shmuel. Rav asked Shmuel a question. Well, Eidim shemim mashu shem boyim. He says Eidim coming. V'homar, he runs to Bezin and he says, Ganavti, I stole. Avaloi tovachti v'loi machati. So he runs to Bezin. He says, everybody say. He sees the Eidim about to come. Everybody says, I stole, but I did not do tvicha mechir. So there is Eidim Mishayim in the Karen. So he's going to be chayav only Karen. Why? Because he was moide. He was moide that he stole. When he's moide, what does he chayav? Only Karen, only principal. Does he pay kefil? No. If you don't pay kefil, you don't give him a dollar either.
He sold the Eidim.
Oh, once they get to that, good point. I saw the Eidim. But more right now, at this stage, it says, doesn't matter. He at the end of the day came who's moider to Bezin, and that's it. Masha, even though the Eidim came. Not only you saw the Eidim came. So you see over here that if Eidim came, it doesn't change the fact he was moider. Oh, that's what happened. Eidim never came. Eidim were about to come. He sees them coming, he runs to the base. Everybody's saying, I stole. And then he turned around to Eidim. Eidim never came in that. So then it's Chayav only care. It's not Chayav Kefil. But if Eidim will come, maybe we'll be Chayav. So one second, when the Tanya says it says the end of that, right? So, he says, no, the Eidim should come, testify, and be Mechayav. Mechayav, the Rakam is so loy. The Rakam holds if the Eidim come, they're not Mechayav. If not, what's the Mechlikis? If we talk about the Eidim turned around, but if they would come and work, so what's the Mechlikis to the Rakam and their blood to be Rav Shimon? So the fact that Rav Shimon says the Eidim can come and testify, the Rakam is saying they can't come and testify. Amalei, Shmuel, you're right. Avi kabloz of Shimon, the Kai Kavasi, and the Ami kabloz of Shimon. He says, you're right. There's no other way for me to explain it. Rabbanon don't work with me. Because they say that if he was moided, even though Eidim came afterwards, it's over. But Blaz Shimon says, no, Eidim can come and testify even after he was moided. I hold like Blaz Shimon. Says, well, the Shmuel Vada Tanoim. Good Shmuel's for sure Machlis Tanoim, and he goes like one of them. Le Rav, Milema Tanoi, what about Rav? According to Rav, is Machlis Tanoim or not? The Rav says that Eidim could come afterwards. Sorry, can't come afterwards. I hold even Blaz Shimon, the Eidim cannot come. So what does Blaz Shimon say they came? This is what you said, remember. There, why is he moide? Because he sees the Eidim coming. That's not called moide. Moide, the Torah says, moide, the Bikras Pater, if he comes on his own volition, he says, if I say moide, it's almost like a svar. What's a svar? So the Torah gives a punishment to somebody as long as that moide. This, in the Shom Machshava, I mentioned it. The Ramai panel tells us that moide, the idea of moide Bikras, that's the source of side to vidu of tshuva. But when a person does tshuva, the requirement says the Ram is to do what? Vidu. Vidu. Why we have to do vidu? The vidu of tshuva is like moide Bikras. So if you come on your own and you go to Hakadosh Baruch Hu and say, ask forgiveness, ask mechila, please forgive me, Hashem. Moide Bikras. But you see Eidim coming, you see the punishment coming, then you moide it. That's too late.
That's a wise thing. Yeah.
So that's what Rav Shimon says. That's why the Eidim come. But if he didn't come because of the Eidim, everybody will agree. The Rav says that if Eidim come and he can't do it. So this is another. The Ganov, and this is something you pointed at the beginning of the daf. The Ganov does need to be effective in some way, but if there's a door. If a Soidah doesn't make him obligated anything, he has no loss. No loss. That doesn't work as a door. It don't need to be that because of my door, I have to pay something. So you say, so now let's go, now like Elazar Mishrin. Well, even like Elazar Mishrin, let's say there was no 18 in the beginning. He came on the middle of the winter. He said, I'm waiting. Half a year later came 18. Said, says the Gemara, yeah, what happened when he was moide? Before he was moide, he wasn't chayav anything. He comes and tells us, I stole shit. What? No, he's not. Before. Once he was moide, he's chayav b'keren. You have to pay for the grave. Oh, so he's b'chayav himself something. So, he says ganafti. Boy, do shigona. Potter. Show you chiyav out to b'keren. Chayav is b'keren. V'amar, loy ganafti, he said, I didn't steal. He didn't steal. Boy, do shigona. And you come and say, you didn't steal. It's chayav what? Kefil. Then you go and say, you're right, I lied. Nah, I stole. Not only I stole, I also did tzvicha mechira. I shechted. What do you do when he admits that he shechted? Nothing. What do you do in miktas? And what do you do in class? The carrot and the cable is very chayav. The the gimel, the base of gimel is not chayav because moed mixas, moed mikras. Ubo eitim shetovach u'mokar says the Gemara chayav. The eitim u'im chayav. Why? Shai poter atzor miklum. When he comes, the eitim can say he stole, and he says, "Oh, you can't. I have to pay." You know what? It's a good deal. Just say you're already shachted. I don't lose anything if you say you're shachted. He's already chayav and karen, and chayav and kefil. By saying that I shechted, you chayav himself on anything? No. So he's not losing anything by saying it. Then moed doesn't work. Moed works. Not you can't chayav him, but if eidim come, it's too late. Not too late. If eidim come, you chayav him. Why? I tell you, your idol will override or supersede the eidim if your idol has some effect.
That's what to lose.
They want to lose. So you did idol, you don't have to pay the kras. But if when you buy idol, you don't have anything to lose, so then when anything comes, you'll be chayav the kras. That's what he says. That's how said. That's said Rav Nuna. I cut the legs of Sabe de Birav. Rashi learns over here that Rav Nuna is called Sabe de Birav. There's a very long text over here on the side to come and discuss who's Sabe de Birav. How does it work? Sabe de Birav, Rav Nuna, or it's Rav Huna. But for our point right now is very Pashup Shad in our sugya. It's Rav Nuna. Rav Nuna is the one who said the sentence. Comes Rav and says, "No, I was able to win him, slug him up. Why? This is the following. What happened to the story of Gamliel? What did Gamliel do? He took at the tooth of his Evet Tabi. It was Moide. So told him, Rabbi Yeshua, you're Moide, you don't have to chayav. Did he chayav himself in anything? No. Because when a person takes the tooth of his Evet, he doesn't pay anything. So and that was one of the rayos that you see the Moed Mikras. You're chayav. So you see right over there that even if you don't mechayav yourself anything, so we have another Itranami like Rav Nuna. There's someone came and said I stole, and Eidim came and said that he stole his potter because he did obligate himself with something. Amama looking after, void he shigona. He said I didn't steal. He did steal. She's chayav kefil. Because all my he said tavachtu machaytu. Then he said to Bechir, and Eidim came in and said the same thing. Chayav. Why? Shari potter atzo miklum. He had no loss, like you said. No loss at all. Mavashi mastisu b'ayis namideka. Chura v'arayat to this Rav Nuna. Also for a Mishnah Brayso. Mastisi, what's a Mishnah? Nan gona v'pishtayim v'tovach al malchal p'yedechod. That's our Mishnah. Al p'yatzvoi mishantash to v'kefil v'nishantash to v'chamisho. So if he stole, we said two people, and he was tiveyach based on either himself or yedechod. He doesn't have to pay. We just say that he stole and he did everything on Piyadechot. Why are you saying that two Eidim said they did Gneva? And then he admitted the rest? Say the whole thing he admitted. And he's kind of only the Karen. Why are you saying you do pay Kefil and then down the age we have to have a Chiddush? That's why name would base. The Mishnah give me a case. What's the Mishnah? What's the case? The Mishnah is you get closer, too far away. The Mishnah gave us a case. The Mishnah says, I want to give you a case. What's the case? That a person is going to be potter from Knas. If somebody who say he has 18 that said he's a Ganav. And he said, I did Vichul Mechira. It's potter from the Knas. Why have to say the case that you have 18 that he stole? And he's admitting Vichul Mechira. Say he admitted the whole thing. He's potter in all the classes. He admitted he stole. He admitted Vichul Mechira. He's potter on Kefil. He's potter Dalvei. It's kind of only Karen. Why tell me there was 18 in the beginning? So Gemara goes on to say that in our hand base. What's a chiddush? Remember the deal we had yesterday, and then the daf yesterday. What was that deal we had in the yesterday? What did the deal? The same way al pi eidechod. If another 8 comes and joins him, he will have to pay. So al pi atzvoi, if 2 eidim come and join him, you have to pay. In other words, more than the kras hakabo eidim chayav. So that's the deal. So Davka, if it was not Mechavet, Davka when he didn't say Gneva at all, he didn't Mechavet Sofer Keren. You compare himself to 1/8. Once you have 1/8, another you can join him. That's only the case that he did not admit to anything. Because Adam said he stole. If I'll go to the he even did the whole thing on his own. The Chiyuv to be Karen, he has something to lose. He says Chayav Karen. We don't say the diuk. So the Gemara says we learned yesterday the diuk was right. Yesterday we learned the diuk. The diuk for the Mishnah was that whenever Eidim come, you're Chayav. Now we want to say according to Rav, when Eidim come, you're Patur. So what about the diuk of the Mishnah? The diuk of the Mishnah is when he did not Mechayav himself a thing. He had nothing to lose. So then he is Chayav. But if not, to be Patur. So that's exactly like Rav Amnuna. You have to lose something in order for Moed to work. Ein hand with base on top. Says the Gemara, Braiso. What's a Braiso? The family says the Braiso. Ro Edi, that's the Braiso before. Ro Edi should be Mashim boy. He sees Edi come. Ro Maganafti Avaloi Tovachti Vloy Macharti. I said I stole. Then Brat Yichur Mechira in a Mishalim El Karen. He pays only Karen. Why you have to say the case? He said I stole. But I didn't do tficho mechira. Need the oy ganafti, oy tovachti, u'makarti. Give me 2 different cases. Why have to say that he said the whole thing? I stole. I did tficho. I did mechira. Said I stole. A. Another case. He didn't say I stole. Elder A. He told him sell. He just said I did tficho mechira. That's because he had something to lose. Because he said I stole. If he said he didn't steal, he can't say he did steal. And can't even say he did do anything. So that's a rayo. The moed and the tvicha only is not aidah. Because you have nothing to lose. That's a chiddush. The chiddush is the thing itself. He said I stole, and then he said I did not do tvicha mechira. Came to him and said no, you did do tvicha mechira. So you lied about it. Patur. My time is teshlum chamisha machmon, teshlum yarbov, teshlum shleisha. That's the chiddush. Once you patur from kefil, you don't pay the other 3 or 4, even though you have 8 against you. He said I didn't do tvicha. Came in and did tvicha. You should pay. Because he kefil doesn't pay the gimel, basic gimel. So that's the chiddush. But if he would, there is no rayot, what we said before, he has to obligate himself in something in order to have the din of moed bekas like a boyd. Okay, so again, the last, basically for the called last half of Alma, what is more discussing? If we hold the moed bekas like a boydim, patur because he was moed, do you have to have something to lose when you're moed? The Gemara want to say yes, you have to have something to lose. We're going to arrive in the story and we'll then the Gemara will arrive in the Mishnah and the Braiso, or at least attempt to be arrived in the Braiso, that moed bekas, if you have nothing to lose, you're not put if anything came afterwards. Says the Gemara, let me get tonight. What is it? No what? Hayu shtayim eidim shigona. 2 eidim who made the he stole. Hayu shtayim eidim to shetav v'chumacher. And 2 eidim said they did tvicha mechira. Who's mu'ed gnevo? Eidim shemata b'ktoso bot l'klom. If there's no gnevo, there's no tvicha mechira. It's over. Who's mu'ed tvicha? They made tvicha minuza. Who mishan tashlum kefil? So then he pays double. Why does he pay double? Because he did the gneva, and they, the ones who wanted to be mechayim and tvichu mechiro for 3, they have to be 3 because there's a mizon. Sukkot says no, they pay kefil. He's gonna pay the 3 and the 2. That's what it says. The name of Sukkot says the Gemara. Ahai kai. What's the case that Sukkot is talking about? What's the case? Ahai kai Sukkot. Ilimai ratio. The case in the beginning, like that the Adim of Gneva or Zaydimim. They say Sukkot say that you bought the Miktos about the Kula. The Adus is gone. Right? If you say there's no Gneva, so there's no Tvichu Mechir. So it's all over. Right? Even though the idea of Adus Shabbat Miktos is not exactly Adus Shabbat Miktos. The point is, I have no Gneva. I don't have what to base the Tvichu Mechir. We're talking about the Sefer. That who became Zaymimim? Only the Adi Tvichu. So why should they pay kefil? He stole. Because he stole. There was no Adi Zaymimim in that case. So what's the case that Sukkot talks about? We'll talk about a different case. A case that was not mentioned. It was almost like a chesur mechsavak that you're missing your part in the rice. What's the part? Came to Adim and said, you stole. Amalu in ganafti. I did. You're right. Vetovaktu bagatu. I did think here too. Now what? So I agree, I stole. And I also did think here. But you're not my Adim. You weren't there. You heard some rumors. You're lying right now. Brings Adim Zayim. They weren't there. They're not the ones who saw the Gneva.
It's like he came before they came there.
One second. He comes Baba and brings other Adim. Right? And the guardian going to Tvichu. What do I go into? So again, it was a 3-stage process. Came first Adim, Group A said he did the Gneva. He says, I admit I did the Gneva. I did Tvichu Mechir as well, which nobody forced him to say. But your guys are liars, and he brings Adim Group B that says they're liars. They didn't see it. Comes Group C and says, I saw him do Gneva, I saw him do Tvichu Mechir. Now what's the case? Does he want this? Tabun Tzavir. I want to say 1 second. Gneva, he was mighty because Adim came. Yeah, these Adim were proven to be liars. But at the end of the day, they came to base. They say it's Chayav Gneva. And he says, you're right, I admit. You didn't see it, you're liars. But I admit. So you can't say you're mighty. You're not mighty. You're mighty because after Adim came. So Gneva, you are Chayav the Kefir. Because he didn't moid on you. But Tvichu Mechir, I did moid on my own. Nobody told me to do Tvichu Mechir. Group A said you did Gneva only. He said the Gneva Tvichu Mechir. Group C didn't say it, you did Gneva Tvichu Mechir. So when he was moid on Tvichu Mechir, nobody forced him to say it.
He didn't know about passing C.
Right? He didn't know anything. Exactly. Right? So it was moid. A Tvichu Mechir. So again, let's go.
You could say, you guys are zoning.
100%. So Group A comes on Sunday and says, Rabbi Isai, I made this guy stole. Comes the guy and says, guys, I admit, I stole. Everybody agrees this is not considered admission. Why? The only reason you admit because people get the basic. You say they're liars, but you still admit because of them. So that admission doesn't help. But he says, I also did Tvichu Mechir. Nobody forced to say Tvichu Mechir. So he's going to Tvichu Mechir. Even though he has nothing to lose. But it's saying it works. So, he's potter in it. The Suchosova, Kivan, the Gneva is not a dog. It's not because of anything. The Kaboid, the Tvicha Lavoi Doi. Why not? Because he has nothing to lose. Says the Gemara, therefore what? Therefore says so. These first 18 that they lied, they have to pay because they lied. Whenever 18 says you come and lie, even though eventually he found it was true. Mishalmin, they should be careful. That's what it says. That's Machlekes. Mamash Machlekes Tanaim is Hoidah. They have nothing to lose. Is Hoidah or not? No, don't say that's explanation. Everybody agrees you have nothing to lose. Not Hoidah. Talk about Eidus that you cannot make them Zayim. What's the case? Came it says you stole. I did steal. And I did tzvicha mechir. Miu loy b'freiche ganavti, el b'frei ploini uploini. I used to say now, and then he was mizim the first Eidim. So what's the case here? A little different nuance. If it was tzvicha mechira on his own, everybody agrees that admission doesn't work. He has nothing to lose. But the case of here is like this. He said, came Eidim, Reuven Shimon came and said to Binyamin, you stole. He said, I admit I stole. I did tzvicha mechira. But you, Reuven Shimon, you weren't there. The one who saw me doing all that is Levi Yehuda. So now comes the interesting thing, which is actually I ain't understand this more. But we'll take what the Gemara tells us. Levi Yehuda will never be able to be Zaymim. Because what's the Zaymim? Yisachar will come and say, Levi Yehuda, you weren't there. So what are you talking about? Binyamin said we were there. You're going to tell me we weren't there? Binyamin says we were there. No, but we say you weren't there. He said, he does not did. The one who did the Maisa, the culprit, the Ganov, says that we were there. So you can't make me Zaymim. There's no way to make Levi and Yehuda Zaymim. Because Levi and Yehuda were admitted by Binyamin. So again, what's the case? The case says that Reuven Shimon came and said, you stole. He says, you're lying, and he brings 80 to show they're lying. But he says, I did steal. I did tzvicha mechira, but I did it in front of Levi Yehuda. So now Levi Yehuda come. So now we're back over. Here's the machlekes. One Savre, Avile Idus Shiyat Techola Azimo. It's Eidus you cannot be amazing because he admits. Techol Eidus Shiyat Techola Azimo le'ave Eidus, not Eidus. So he admitted for what that he did what? Tzvicha mechira. And the Eidim are not good Eidim because they came after he said that he saw it. So he can't make them Zayim. He can't make them Eidim. So it's only his admission. Moedim Kras Potter. Even though he can't be Meizim, it is Eidus. It is Eidus. And therefore, he was Moedim, but then came Eidim and he has nothing to lose. So what do you make? So what do you mean? We know a rule in Shas. We learn Mesechus Makis. Eidus can't be without Eidus. So Mohani mileicha de lo yadi beize yoim beize show de leiko leidus klal. They didn't know. We're talking about Eidus. Coming to even say we saw Reuven killing. We saw Reuven stealing. What day? I don't know. I don't remember. What time? Don't remember. That's Eidus Yetechol Azimo. Because nobody can come and say, you were with us. You were with us on Monday. I mean, it was a Tuesday. You were with us on 2 o'clock. It was 10 o'clock. I don't know. That's Eidus Yetechol Azimo has missing that essence. But here, why is Eidus Yetechol Azimo? Because Binyamin says, you were there. That's not a problem in the actual Eidus. He's just making the Eidus stronger. No. Shimon and Levi Yehuda are good Eidim. Because Binyamin says, I admit they are good Eidim. So you want to tell him because they're such good Eidim, that's why they're not good Eidim? That he doesn't agree. You're missing essential part of the Eidus. That's not a good Eidus. You're missing essential part of the Eidus. But if you're not missing essential part of the Eidus is a good Eidus. The problem is it's too good. That's not Eidush Techol Azima. That's like definition. Eidush Techol Azima is a good Eidush according to Rabbi Tarf. According to Sukkot, sorry. Says the Gemara on my Mar, we learned Hem Shalmin Teshul Bekefel. The Eidim Zayim Mishal Teshul Bekefel. With the Kamoide, the Gonav, but he's Moide. He admits he stole. Karen by Shlume. So one second. The first Eidim come and said, you stole. He said, I admit. And you're liars. And you found that they're liars. What did they want to mechayev and that he didn't do on his own? Only the second tashlo. Only the kefil. So why it says they're paying kefil, they pay double. Why do they pay double? Karen, he's supposed to pay himself. This is where you're right. Mav lozor mishmei derav tani without avon dalef tashlum the kefil. Not paying kefil, you're paying only the hashlam of the kefil. You bring it to kefil, meaning he's going to pay Karen, and the tashlum the kefil, I mean not the full double, only the double payment. The second payment, Rashi says, tashlum kefil shalim et kefil. V'hu misham shlosh levad Karen. So he paid. Now that they're paying double, they're paying only the crass of the double. The ikar tigi he admits that's what he's paying. So the Gemara wanted what's the last, let's say half almond that we learned is that the Gemara wanted to say the machlekes rabbanan and sumchus is regarding if you admit to something that has no consequence, there's no loss, is that you say what makes us or not. So no, everybody agrees there's no consequence, it's not what makes us. So what's the machlekes over here? The machlekes over here, if you admit to something that the eidim that will say it are eidush techol azima. Is it considered to be eidus, and then there's no consequences and you chayav? Or it's not an eidus, so the only thing you have is a dog, then you're patur. Very good. Stop over here, Hashem. Continue tomorrow.